Hi, Liz. Lizzie. So this week's holistic medicine on the Homestead video, really quickly, because let's face it, I don't have a lot of time to do one again. Anyhow, this week it's going to be about Miss Liz back there. Where is she? There she is. She was attacked a few weeks ago by, I'm assuming, either a bear or a raccoon, just because those are the predators that we've seen recently. And so basically, we lost one of our hens, one of our big white hens, which is, you know, whatever, it happens. But Liz, apparently in the process, she escaped, but she was hurting for certain. I was pretty sure that Lizzie was not going to make it. She had a huge gash on her back, about 6 to 10 inches long, and, you know, basically down to the bone. If I would have had a stitch kit, I would have stitched her up, but I didn't have one. So she was also all beat up on her head. Her eye was swollen shut. It was the size of a golf ball. She just simply was not well. So I didn't really know what to do. In a situation like that, I probably would have normally put her down. But because she's our favorite, and she's been one of our first chickens that we've ever had, I tried to doctor her up. And I'll be honest, I didn't do a lot of doctoring, but I did what I knew to do. And so I needed something strong. So I took oregano oil and tea tree oil, both essential oils, mixed them with jojoba oil, and basically I cleaned her wound off really well, and then I poured it on. She actually did have, at one point, she had fly strike on her. It was a really hot day. It was the same day that it happened, and so she had fly strike on her wound, and I thought for sure, well, this is just not going to end well. But I doused it all in tea tree oil and oregano oil and the jojoba oil, and I let it be. She stayed on her roost. She's a very social chicken, so I did not separate her. Nope, I didn't. She stayed on her roost most days, and I applied the oil once a day. You could do it twice a day if you really wanted to, but I didn't want to overdose her on it. So I cleaned it off and I applied it once a day. I didn't do anything to her eye except wipe it off with warm water because, you know, there was really nothing I could do for that. But I kept everything clean. You know what? Nature did its job with the help of the tea tree oil and the holistic care that I gave her. Nature did it. On day 3, she was out with the flock again. I mean, we're talking, she was on the verge of death. She was pretty much dead. I mean, she was gasping for air. She was in shock. It's a really good thing that it's summertime right now because the heat, contrary to what you might think, the heat is probably what kept her going. Warmth is really important for chickens when they're in shock. And so because it was hot outside, she had that warmth, but the other side of that is that she had fly strike and she had all these other things. The oils took care of the fly strike. It killed all of that off. Killed off all the bacteria, killed off all the pests that could have gotten to her. Good news is she smelled up the whole coop, so it kept flies out of my coop during that time too. So by day 3 she was up around with the coop, and now, 2 weeks later, her eye is perfect. I thought she lost her eye. Her eye is fine. I didn't do anything to that except wipe it off and keep it clean, and her eye healed fine. Her wound is now completely healed in 3 to 4 days, just with essential oils. I didn't do anything. That huge gash healed on its own in 3 to 4 days. So she's doing really well. Sometimes simplicity is key, and allowing nature to heal itself is important. So that's my holistic medicine on the Homestead this week. It's simple, it's easy, but sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes holistic medicine isn't complicated. Sometimes it's just about letting the body heal itself the way it knows how. and keeping it clean in the process and helping it along a little bit sometimes. Alright guys, that's it from me this week. Hope you guys have a great week. Talk to you soon. Happy homesteading.